Hello everyone, welcome to CivilPrep. I am Krishna Gupta, and this is a special case study which is based on a recent event which has shook the nation. Okay, that is the Air India flight crash at Ahmedabad airport in June 2025. Okay, this is one of the case study which is made or developed specifically on the geographical factors which have been contributed or which is an important part for us to understand with respect to the event. Okay, that is the crash event. So here we'll be discussing certain geographical and atmospheric factors in the aviation disasters. Okay, now this is one of the case which I thought it is quite important because many aspirants cannot they have information, they know that what are the basic concepts which are involved in the aviation sector, but how to apply them, this is one of the question where a lot of aspirants they find quite difficulty in applying it. So this is an application based knowledge here. Okay, so let's begin here. So first we'll be taking an overview of the incident. That is the flight. It was AI717. That was Boeing 787 Dreamliner. Okay. Now the route here it was from Ahmedabad to London. That is Gatwick. Crash time here will be seeing that it was 1:39 p.m. Indian Standard Time, which took just after 33 seconds after the takeoff. Total fatalities here will be saying 241 on board and 38 on ground. The crash site it was Meghani Nagar, okay, which was just 3 kilometers away from Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport. So here we see that this is one of the condition or this was one of the case where there is involvement of certain geographical factors. Number one, here will be seeing that this incident took over the daytime. Number two, the region of Ahmedabad, it was seeing a high temperature, which was probably more than 38 degrees Celsius. Number three, here will be seeing that there is incoming of monsoon winds. Okay, because of these conditions, we'll be seeing that because of the monsoon winds interference, there was development of condition of stability and instability. Okay, there is development of condition of instability and stability. Here we'll be seeing that there is certain other concepts with respect to shear wind. Okay, shear wind and convective winds. Is also quite important. So here we can see that there are certain phenomena. Okay, there might be certain other reasons because of which the crash has taken place, but we can analyze certain atmospheric and geographical factors which could have been one of the reason for the event which has taken place. Okay, this was a very sad event. Okay, uh, I personally feel very sad because I had been an employee of Air India. I had worked at Mumbai International Airport. Okay, since 2012 to 2015. So it is. I personally feel it is not a very good event which has taken place, and I have condolences for the people and the family who are going through this painful scenario. Okay, now moving further, we have certain geographical and meteorological factors that we can see. Number one, the wind speed and direction. Wind speed we will be seeing that it was 7 knots from 250 degrees. That is crosswind component on runway 23. Okay, runway 23 is the name of the runway. Where we'll be seeing that if we take this from the northern side, north to south, and this is west to east. So here we see that the winds here, they were almost around 250 degrees here. Okay, 250 degree it is. 180, it is almost this part. So this was the flow of the wind here. So here we can see this component, that is southwest wind, is also having the similar kind of direction here. Okay, so this is the movement of the wind which is seen here. Second thing, the temperature in this region, it was 37 to 39 degrees Celsius, which was high heat. Now, this heat, it reduces the air density. This is one of the very important component for us to understand. Whenever there is a cold wind and a warm wind, under the cold wind, the molecules, they are densely packed, but under the warm wind, the molecules, they get distributed. And this happens because of one of the concept which is called as adiabatic expansion. Okay, this is the condition of adiabatic expansion, where the wind which is colder, it becomes thick or dense, while the wind which is warmer, it becomes thin. So this is one of the important factor. So in the coming part, we'll be seeing that through a diagram. Whenever there is presence of a dense wind, whenever there is a presence of a dense wind, where the weather is quite cooler, so it basically provides a lift to the aircraft. But when the air is quite thinner here and the weather is very hot, so the lift which is provided by the wind, it declines. So this was one of the condition which we see that which was present in the Ahmedabad airport. So what happens because of this condition? The shorter takeoff time is provided by the dense air and longer takeoff time is provided by the hot air. Okay, so this is one of the very important part which is seen here from the perception of the air density. Further, we'll be seeing that the temperature, further second part is temperature. Temperature we have seen. Third is shear wind. What is shear wind? Shear wind is the vertical movement of the winds. Okay, the wind which is moving in the vertical manner, they are called as shear winds. So what is seen here, that there was suspicion of microburst or convective shear during monsoon transition. So this is the time. Okay, here we'll be seeing that the date is June. Okay, June 2023. Okay, it is June 2023. Sorry, June 2025. So here we'll be seeing that this is the time period of monsoon. So under the monsoon conditions, what has happened here? Here we can see this from one of the part here, that there will be presence of convective winds. Now, how the convective winds are formed? Here we'll be seeing that towards the upper region there is presence of cold air, and towards the lower region there is presence of warm air. This results into the presence of the formation of the high pressure system and a low pressure system. So because of this condition, the winds, they try to move from high to low. So because of this condition, the winds, they try to move from the upper region to the lower region, and this results into the formation of a convection shear. That is the vertical winds. So what happens here, because of this wind, there is more amount of pressure is applied over the aircraft. Okay, this is the aircraft. So more amount of pressure is applied here, because of which the lift which is to be provided, the lift which is to be provided to the aircraft, it declines. It declines, and the high amount of thrust is required. Okay, high amount of thrust is required, power is required for the aircraft to take off, but here it is opposed by this convection type of winds here. So this is seen from this both the diagrams which has been seen here. So because of this, what will happen? The aircraft, it will be trying to move up, okay, but because of the presence of the strong downdraft, the aircraft, it will move toward the downward direction. Though the power is high, okay, the engines are working well, but what we will see here that because of the convection winds, the shear, the vertical shear, it will be suppressing the aircraft and resulting in its downward movement. So this is the second part which we can analyze here. Fourth thing we can see here with respect to the stability conditions, okay, here we'll be seeing that the atmosphere was quite unstable due to high surface heating and vertical convection. Now, in this condition, what we will be seeing that there is a unstable air which is present here. Now, unstable air, what is the unstable air? Here we have certain conditions. Number one, the environmental lapse rate. Number two, we have dry adiabatic lapse rate. Number three, we have moist adiabatic lapse rate. Okay, here we'll be seeing that when the environmental lapse rate, it is higher than the moist adiabatic lapse rate, and it is higher than the dry adiabatic lapse rate. Under this condition, the wind, it will be starting to move upward and it will be moving towards the upper part. So because of this condition, basically this is one of the condition which is resulting into the instability or instability of aircraft, resulting into several bumps. Okay, this may result into the hindrance for the aircraft. Either it is taking off or it is landing. So this was also one of the condition in terms of the unstable air, which has resulted into the hindrances occurring in the aircraft takeoff and landing, which was also seen in the region. Now, apart from this, we'll be seeing that there was a monsoon transition. So under the monsoon transition, what we'll be seeing, this was a early monsoon or monsoon onset. Okay, in one of the previous videos, of monsoon variability. Okay, I'll be sharing the link in the description. So here we have discussed what are the various conditions. For example, the El Nino effect, the La Nina effect, the Indian Ocean dipole, Madden-Julian oscillation, okay, and the several other factors which have resulted into the variability in monsoon in this year, that is 2025. Okay, so you can watch that video and you can understand the variability in monsoon in 2025. So here it was a condition of early monsoon onset, which was 10 to 15 June, which increased humidity and convective activity in the region. Okay, convective activity, as we can see here, we have three conditions with respect to three conditions, that is environmental lapse rate, then moist adiabatic lapse rate and dry adiabatic lapse rate here. So moist adiabatic lapse rate, when the moisture is high, here it is actually hindering the movement of the winds in a particular region. Okay, so this is also seen here. Now, this we have understood that how it will result into the takeoff and landing part. This is the landing condition and this is the takeoff condition. Okay, so this condition, in both the conditions, we can say that how the convective currents, they are resulting into the hindrances in the takeoff and also in the landing conditions. Okay, further we'll be seeing that if we look at the models and theories which can be applied here, that is atmospheric stability model, which we have discussed. Just we'll just go through it. Instability rises when the environmental lapse rate, okay, it exceeds the dry adiabatic lapse rate, which we have understood in the previous part. So because of this, what will happen? The high surface heating will occur, the moisture will be present here, resulting in unstable conditions, okay, which we have discussed. This will result into the vertical convection, okay. Vertical convection, it will result into the wind shear, okay. Wind shear, as we have discussed here. So this is the convective winds, okay, resulting into the vertical winds formation, resulting into the wind shear here, okay. Now, apart from this, there is Bernoulli's principle and lift equation. Now, the concept is the lift or the airlift, it is directly proportional to air speed and the air density. Okay, as we can see in this condition, okay, the air density, it is directly proportional to the lift of the air. The density is high, so the lift will be high. The density is low, so the lift will be low here. So thus, high temperature is resulting into low air density. Thus, reduced lift is present here, resulting into longer takeoff rule and the higher thrust demand from the aircraft. Okay, so this is one of the important condition which may suppress the lift and demanding the higher thrust required by the aircraft to take off. Then a systems theory can also be applied here, which was developed by Barry and Shorley. Now, application. Aviation as a socio-technical system. Failure in one subsystem, it may result into either it can be engine, weather, or pilot response. It may result into cascades into the systematic collapse, resulting into the aircraft crash. Okay, though the system is very dynamic, but it is very important that every system in this aircraft system or every aircraft system should work properly. So this is very much needed here. So we can see this. This is one of the Bernoulli's principle which is applied here. The airflow is taking place in this manner, and the air is moving. It is getting divided, okay, and it is divided by the airfoil. Airfoil is basically the aircraft here, okay. So when the higher pressure is present here, the slower air, it will result into the higher pressure, and the faster air, it will result into the lower pressure. So this is one of the condition which is required for the aircraft to uplift. If here there is presence of low pressure, if the low pressure will be formed when the wind is warm, okay. So if this condition is present here, it may result into the lower lift conditions, okay. So the proper thrust which is provided here, this is the thrust and this is the lift condition. If the thrust is not provided or it is declining, so it will result into the declining of lift condition also, okay. So this is also another condition which may result into the decline of the aircraft system. Now, looking at the further point here, for the crash dynamics, which is based on the data, here we can see certain parameters like maximum altitude which was reached by the aircraft, it was 625 feet above the sea level. Then vertical speed, it was 896 phantom per miles, okay, that is initial climb. Then minus 475 atoms per mile, descent was same. Ground speed, it was 174 knots. Configuration anomaly, which is seen here, there the flaps retracted too early. Okay, if you look at this aircraft, this is the this is the we can see here, this is one part which is the flap of the aircraft. Okay, uh, so this retracted too early. The landing gear, it also did not retract it. Okay, there is a landing gear which is present here. This also did not retract it back. Okay, here you might have seen in this the videos also. So here the emergency system, the ram air turbine, which was deployed here, it indicated dual engine failure. This is an important part which was seen as the major reason for the decline of the thrust here, that the both the engines, okay, the both the engines, they failed. Okay, the reason can be anything. It might be with respect to the technical failure, it might be with respect to the lifting condition, it might be with respect to any of the condition. But we can see the various geographical factors which we have discussed. They can also be one of the possible condition for the decline of the aircraft. Apart from this, possible chain events which have occurred here with respect to geographical lens. So number one thing, the takeoff has taken place in hot and unstable air condition, which have resulted into the reduced lift. Number two, the wind shear or the microburst have taken place. Wind shear we have already discussed. It may result into the sudden loss of the airspeed. Number three, the dual engine failure, possibly due to the bird strike or fuel contamination. It have resulted into the engines, they might not have worked properly. Number four, the RAT deployment, which was emergency only power. Okay, RAT deployment is basically, we have seen here, that was the ramp air turbine, they were deployed here. Okay, now number five condition, the pilots they attempted recovery, but there was not insufficient time, neither insufficient altitude. It was just 625 feet. Okay, and just 35 seconds since the takeoff. Number six, it crashed into the urban zone with high fuel loaded, resulting into the fireball impact. So this is the chain of reaction we can see here. Then perspectives we can see from the UPSC answer writing. So here environmental geography, that is the role of urban heat island, which we study every year, but we need to see the dynamics, that how it is also resulting into the changes in aircraft pattern, their takeoff condition and their landing condition. Then land use near the airports, it is also quite important because such an important hospital near the vicinity of the airport, it may be dangerous. So this has been proven by this particular incident, and the policymakers have to take certain steps to make sure that a certain area around the aircraft, it is needed to be vacated. Okay. Then climate induced turbulence, as we have discussed previously. Disaster management, need for hazard zoning, early warning systems, and resilient airport designs is highly needed in the contemporary time. Apart from this, the human environment interaction, which we have seen in the part of the behavioral geography. Okay, we have also seen in the existential part, which we also see this in the cultural determinism. So here, how anthropogenic factors, that is waste management, urban planning, etc., it intersects with the natural hazards. Okay, because the urban heat island, it is an anthropogenic cause. So anthropogenic cause, it is related with the waste management, okay, and the urban planning. It is resulting into such kind of microclimate changes condition and macroclimate changes condition, which may be a possible cause for such kind of incident here. Okay, so guys, this is one of the part here. Do give your comments that how did you like this video, how have you felt that the concepts of geography which we have seen here, which we have identified, which can be applied for to understand the dynamics of aircraft and how geographical phenomena it can be applied here to understand this particular crash scenario. Okay, so guys, do like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next class. Thank you.